Hey everybody, I'm here today to tell you how to break in a car engine. In this video, I will be going over 3 simple things that you can do to properly break in a car engine. Now, back in the day, with regards to old car engines, okay, the break-in process was really complicated because the technology wasn't nearly as good as it is today. But because of fantastic modern technology, we can break in modern car engines by doing some very simple, easy to execute things. And I'm going to tell you 3 of those things that you should do. All right, the first thing, go easy with regards to the RPM for the first 1,000 kilometers. So, when you first start driving a brand new car with a brand new engine, many components in the engine are moving as you rev it up, okay? Now, those components have not been moving for long when the engine is brand new, okay? It's not like they have been moving for hundreds of thousands of kilometers. The engine is brand new. Those components haven't really done much moving, okay? So for the first 1,000 kilometers, you should not rev the car really high. And that is just to avoid putting any stress on the engine and the engine's components. Now, what is a reasonable rev? Well, it depends on the red line of the car, but I would say don't go above about 3,500 to 4,000 RPM for the first 1,000 kilometers of the engine's life. That's a rule of thumb. Now, you can go above those numbers every once in a while within the first 1,000 kilometers, but try not to go above very frequently. Okay, the second thing, don't go wide open throttle for the first 1,000 kilometers, okay? So once again, when you get a car and it has a brand new engine, the components are not used to moving, okay? So the components haven't done much moving when the engine is brand new. Obviously, they've only done moving, they've only been moving for 100 kilometers, 200 kilometers, 300 kilometers, however many kilometers you have driven the car and the engine for. So in order to avoid putting stress on those components, you should not go wide open throttle for the first 1,000 kilometers roughly. After 1,000 kilometers, you can floor it as much as you want, but before you hit the 1,000 kilometer mark, I would highly advise against going wide open throttle. The third and final thing that you should do to break in a car engine is change the oil after 200 kilometers. Now you're probably thinking, why would I change the oil after 200 kilometers? The oil is brand new in a brand new engine. Why would I change it so quickly? Well, here's the thing. When an engine is brand new, there are little shards of metal within the engine's components. And as the engine starts to run and you start to put kilometers on the car, the shards of metal break off, become loose, break off, and then get into the engine. So in order to flush out those metal shards, all that you have to do is do an oil change, because the metal shards will be in that component of the engine, in that part of the engine with the oil. So if you do an oil change, it will flush out those metal shards and you will have nice, clean, fresh oil in your engine. So after 200 kilometers, you should definitely do an oil change. And that's basically it. Just once again, to recap, modern technology has allowed engine break-in periods to be very quick and relatively simple. And with that being said, I only have 3 things to tell you with regards to breaking in an engine. Those are the only 3 things, in my opinion, that you should do when you want to break in an engine. And that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching.